Hi, lovely Toeic students, English learners. Today we are going to look at two Toeic questions that about 90% of students get incorrect. So I'm going to show you how to easily answer these questions, and we're also going to gain knowledge so we can answer other questions like this in the future. So let's get started. Here's the first question. Now pause your screen if you need time. All right, so first we need to try to understand the whole idea of a sentence. We can't always just rely on grammar. We want to understand the main idea, the main concept. So let's look at two key vocabulary. The first vocab is condone. If you condone something, you accept or allow bad or immoral behavior. It is often used in the negative. Let me give an example. Corruption has existed in the country for centuries. However, we still shouldn't condone it. So we still shouldn't accept it or allow it. Let's look at another example. The Academy should not condone Will Smith's actions at the Oscars. Okay, there's a variety of opinions here, but some people would say the Academy should not condone what Will Smith did. Okay, now that we know condone, let's look at the other word, which is publicly. Publicly is an adverb, which means you are giving it or you are saying it to the public. So he publicly stated that he was innocent of the crime. So he told the public, he told everyone else. Okay, so now we know condone and publicly. Let's restate this idea of the sentence in a simpler way. So we could say it in a simpler way. The CEO did not say the immoral sales techniques were okay. However, she also didn't blank the sales techniques during the press conference. Okay, at this point, we can start looking at grammar. And the key focus in this sentence are intransitive verbs. Well, what the hell does that mean? What are intransitive verbs? An intransitive verb is a verb that cannot have an object. For example, if I say, I listen you, I'm wrong. I need to say, I listen to you. So listen is an intransitive verb. Some common intransitive verbs are die, appear, grow up, rise, happen, occur, take place, respond. Let's look at some examples. If I said, they occurred the accident, this would be wrong because occur cannot have an object. I need to say an accident occurred. If I said, he responded me quickly, well, this would be incorrect because respond is an intransitive verb. I can't have a direct object, so I could say he responded to me quickly. Okay, now we have an idea of intransitive verbs. So let's go back to the Toeic question. 3 of these options are intransitive. Therefore, they will be incorrect. Let's start eliminating answers. First, eliminate D. When you use conflict as a verb, you do not have a direct object. Let's look at an example. My ideas conflicted her views. So this is wrong. But I could say my ideas conflicted with her views. So were different, did not match. So usually you will use conflict with before the noun. It's somewhat similar to argue with. So as a verb, we will say something conflicts with noun. So we do not have conflict as the answer. Next, let's eliminate A. Disapprove is strange, and I apologize for this. I did not invent English. But after disapprove, you will have of. For example, her parents disapproved of her lifestyle. The chef disapproved of the way I prepared the bulgogi. So to disapprove of something is to not accept it, okay? Not like it, disagree with. All right, now we have 2 answers left. This is getting exciting. What should we eliminate next? The answer is C, disagree. Disagree is also an intransitive verb. For example, Rodrigo agreed with Ethel that inflation is becoming a major problem. Notice the with. Or Monsieur and Zumjung disagreed about the best Marvel movie. You could also say disagreed regarding the best Marvel movie. So after disagree, you need a preposition. So as you can see, we can eliminate 3. Therefore, the only answer is B, denounce. And to denounce is to say publicly that something is wrong and should be stopped. It is usually attached to someone with power, like a politician, leading business person, star athlete. For example, a leading producer denounced harassment in the film industry, so publicly said this is wrong. The CEO denounced the company's treatment of transgendered staff, publicly said this is wrong. And the president of the company denounced the sales technique that some staff were using. So we found the answer, and it was all because we figured out the context plus the idea of intransitive verbs. Okay, so let's look at one more question that students usually get wrong. Pause your screen if you need time. This is very similar to the first question. However, we will be looking at transitive verbs. These are verbs that need a direct object. For example, if I say, I watched, you're going to say, you watched what? So I watched the movie. I watched a game. So watch is an example of a transitive verb. It needs an object. Here's another example. She made. She made what? She made a plan, a change, an investment. So make is an example of a transitive verb. Okay, so in this Toeic question, 3 of these words are transitive verbs. That means they need an object. However, in this question, we can see that the word is followed by with. Therefore, we need to pick a word that does not need a direct object. Okay, so let's start eliminating. First, let's eliminate C. When you say offered, it needs a direct object. For example, I offered, you offered what? I offered a job. I offered a job to him. I offered him a job. I offered my services. So we can eliminate offered because offered needs a direct object. Next, let's eliminate B. Contact is tricky because it can be a noun and a verb. Let's look at the noun form first. I made contact with my friend. I have had contact with the company. So as a noun, this form is someone makes, has, initiates, lost contact with something or someone. However, we are using this as a verb here. In this Toeic question, it's being used as a verb. And as a verb, it is just subject contacts object. For example, I contacted my friend to discuss our vacation plans. She hasn't contacted her boss for several days. Now, if I said this with a noun, I would say she hasn't had contact with her boss for several days. So, we know we can eliminate contact. Now we have 2 options left. I'll tell you, I am filled with excitement right now. Okay, next we eliminate D, discuss. Discuss needs a direct object after it. For example, I discussed with Steve about the movie. This is wrong. But I discussed the movie with Steve. Or maybe I use a noun clause. The movie is what I discussed with Steve. So here, what is my object? You might get confused because the noun discussion is to have a discussion with. So I had a discussion with Steve. I had a discussion about the movie with Steve. I discussed the movie with Steve. So the only option is met. It is both correct to say I met her and I met with her. The difference is I met with her is more formal and indicates there was a plan. For example, I met my friend at the pub. Maybe it was planned, maybe it was unplanned. But if I say I met with my friend at the pub, I definitely planned it. All right, so we got the answer there. Met. A, we figured out some difficult questions learning about transitive and intransitive verbs. Thank you for watching this. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, whatever you want. All right, everyone, have a great day. Bye.